All right, everybody. Thank you for coming today. We have the amazing Andrea from the Montgomery County Food Bank. See, I got it right, Adam. Who is the volunteer services manager there, supervising a team of 5 full-time coordinators and a number of countless volunteers. An average of over 700 visit the food bank every month to sort, package donated goods, including frozen produce, fresh produce, frozen meats, and pantry items. She believes, as of course everybody there does, that they would not be able to serve over 65,000 food insecure neighbors each month without the help of the incredible volunteers who dedicate much of their time to furthering the mission of the food bank. Where together we are stronger in the fight against hunger. Please come on up, Andrea.
Howdy. Like Angela said, I'm Andrea of Montgomery County Food Bank. Not necessarily associated with Meals on Wheels, but they are a partner of ours. So thank you for the shout out for them. I'm also a Fightin' Texas Aggie class of 2015. Thank you. Haven't heard that in a while. And also am honored to be here on the day of Aggie Muster. So it's a special day all around. Thank you all for joining us today. All right, so as mentioned, I am the Volunteer Services Manager at Montgomery County Food Bank. We are located just a few miles down 45 from here, off of where basically the Costco, but behind the Costco on 242 and 45. If you have not been there yet, either to donate, take a tour, or volunteer, I invite you to please visit us. We are always happy to show anyone around. Even if you're just curious, we want to see it and see what we do, we would love to have you all join us. So move forward one. All right, our mission at Montgomery County Food Bank is uniting the community in the fight against hunger. So we like to attend things like this so that we can get those in our community who may not know what the food bank does, what a food bank is, so that you all now have the knowledge that you can take forward and spreading the word about the food bank. So at the food bank, we tackle something called food insecurity. What is food insecurity? That just means having unreliable access to sufficient nutritious food, or maybe not knowing where your next meal is coming from. So a way that we combat that is also reducing food waste at the food bank. Montgomery County, as you all probably know, is just over 1,000 square miles right here in, excuse me, I'm recovering from a cold, but I'm not contagious. We have over 620,000 residents, and of that, over 73,000 of those individuals are food insecure. Remember, those are real people in the county who do not know where their next meal is coming from. If we put all of those people into one room, that would fill NRG Stadium right here, as you can see from the photo. Who went to the rodeo this year? Or is going to the Taylor Swift concert that's here this weekend? Anybody? No? So if it's full to the brim like this, that means that that is just about that same number of individuals in Montgomery County who do not know where their next meal is coming from. And of that 73,000 individuals, about a third of those are school-aged children, meaning that they are under 18 and might depend on their schools for food. So let's imagine that this sideline here, all the way up to the upper deck, is full of school-aged children, real people in Montgomery County who do not know where their next meal is coming from. So a look at our warehouse here. We have over, it's just about 60,000 square feet, again, as I said, located in Conroe. And we distribute over 1 million pounds of food every single month. It's usually, I think now it's up to 1.1 or 1.2 on average every single month. Again, our mission is fighting hunger and feeding hope. And in 2022, we served an average of 65,000 individuals every single month from the food bank within Montgomery County. Although I can tell you that's an average because in November of 2022 was one of our highest distribution months on record. We served over 84,000 individuals in that 1 month from Montgomery County Food Bank only within the county. We distribute over 10 million meals each year, and 36% of that is fresh, nutritious produce from our Produce Rescue Center, which I'll get into in just a little bit. So how does it work? Basically, we will receive donations from any various place. So that could be our government commodities, which is the USDA, which we get from Houston Food Bank. Our food retailers, so anywhere that you do your grocery shopping, can send us those donations. Food drives, so that would be individuals in the community that are hosting food drives, or if you just clean out your pantry and bring that with you when you come to volunteer. Other donations of non-food items. We obviously are a food bank, and most of what we receive and send out is going to be food, but if we get non-food items, we're not just going to throw those away. We like to sort those and get those out as well. And then last resort, we have to purchase items, which we've had to resort to kind of frequently in the last year because the need is up and donations are down. So that's one of the reasons that I was invited to be here today to tell you all the great need that we have and how you can support us in the community. So we receive those donations into our warehouse, and then it goes into our receiving process by our staff. Anything that is from our retailers or from a food drive, meaning that it's something that we didn't order specifically, whether through funding or through our government assistance, means that it has to go through our sort rooms to be sorted by our volunteers. That's where the volunteers come in and do either the dry sorting, which is our shelf-stable goods, our produce rescue center sorting and packaging up our fresh fruits and vegetables, or our meat lovers, which is our clever way to try to entice people to go into the freezer and sort through our frozen goods there. Get everything sorted, packaged up, and ready to go out. And then they will go out to any of our partners within the community. We have over 80 partner agencies within the community, and that's going to include food pantries, school pantries, senior programs, shelters, churches, anywhere that is a setup partner with us, we will distribute that food to them, and they can actually order through our portal exactly what they want to get into their food pantry from us. Like if they have a lot of babies that they are serving within their congregation or a lot of seniors, they want to order those specific things rather than just kind of they get what they get. I skipped mobile markets because mobile markets is a little bit different. Mobile markets is going to be a pop-up drive-through pantry that we set up in the parking lots of schools, churches, neighborhood parks, and members of the community can drive their cars through. At each stop, they will receive a box of dry goods, a box of fresh produce, milk, bread, eggs, frozen meat, whatever it is that we have for them there. They simply drive through, pop their trunk, and we load it up for them. And then who are the people that we're serving? So these are our neighbors. Like I said, these are real people in Montgomery County, and that includes children, adults, senior citizens, families, and those who are homeless. Anyone who says that they need help is the person that we are going to help. So to give you a look at Montgomery County with our 80 plus partner agencies here in the county, you'll see that we have tried to hit every corner of the county based on the need, where the need is. Greatest serving the need, and also accessibility. So if someone lives all the way out near Shiro, I guess is where that is, then they might have to drive a little bit because that's kind of a food desert out there, but there's also not anything that's accessible out there. So they'll have to come in just a little bit further to Montgomery where we can serve them there. But that gives you a good idea of where we are. So if you are anywhere within Montgomery County, you should not be too far from an agency of Montgomery County. So as I mentioned, the people that we are serving, we do mostly through our partner agencies. This is just an example you can see behind her here at one of our partner agency pantries. They have kind of a stockroom situation. So we are like the distribution center. We send it to them, and they are like the grocery store. So individuals can go through and they can pick off the shelves exactly what they need. An example of the mobile markets, again, where they just drive through and you pop your trunk and we will load it with food for you. These school distributions are very similar to the mobile markets, but sometimes are directly set up to serve those school-age students. We will send specific items, specific nutritious items specifically to those schools so that we know that the children are getting something that's healthier for them. And then we also have set up school food pantries. And this is kind of a recent development within the last 2 years. We have established a couple of schools within not only Conroe ISD, but New Caney ISD as well. And I think there's Willis ISD is coming up, where we have set up a pantry within the schools. So those individuals who might receive a big box of food, if it's a 30-pound box of dry goods, those kids can't carry that home. And they definitely can't put that on the bus where everyone can see that it says Montgomery County Food Bank on it. It's a giant box of food that comes with a little bit of humiliation. While we tell them that there's no shame in that, it's just kind of a thing that's learned that everybody feels. So the school food pantries is a way to avoid that. They just get a grocery bag of whatever it is that they need. Their parents can come up and get it for them if they want to, or the kiddos can take this home and just quickly put this in their backpacks from their school day. Next, we have our senior distributions. This is where we actually take a box of dry goods and a bag of fresh produce directly to the doorstep of the seniors that we serve. So if they are living in this specific assisted living facility that is already a registered partner of ours, and they sign up through that facility, we will put them on our list. We will take them that food at the end of the month, because at the end of the month, when they're living on a fixed income, they're running out of money. So they have to choose, do I buy my groceries or do I pay for my prescriptions? We're going to make that choice a lot easier for them by providing enough food to eat through the end of the month. And we take that big box of dry goods and bag of fresh produce and drop it right at their doorstep, so they don't even have to leave home to make sure that they are fed. Another important program that we have at the food bank is nutrition education. So not only do we serve children in our nutrition education program, but we also specifically serve seniors, and we're looking to always involve more adults as well. So we have our own department. We have our nutrition education coordinator, Amy Gentry, who goes out into these schools, who goes out into these senior living facilities and brings the food so that they can have a healthy snack, so that they can know how to use the items that they've received in their box from the food bank. If it's something that they've never seen before, like jicama or dragon fruit, which yes, we do get, they need to know how to use those things and what the health benefits are of those things. All right, so as I mentioned, part of the way that we are fighting hunger and feeding hope in the community is reducing waste. So I'm sure everyone's very aware of the very big problem in America of food waste. So one thing that we like to do at the food bank is implement our green initiatives. So addressing food waste through recycling and composting, but also through our produce rescue center. Has anyone been to the food bank at the produce rescue center? Have you worked in there? No? Have you worked in the food bank? Awesome. So the Produce Rescue Center is our refrigerated room. It's something that's pretty unique to our food bank. Not a lot of food banks or food pantries have the accessibility for refrigeration. So we have actually a whole cooler in our warehouse, but also a cooler sort room for our volunteers to go into. They sort through and package up those donated fresh fruits and vegetables, just like on our dry stuff, but it's in our refrigerator. So it's about 40 degrees in that room. It gives you an excuse to wear your cute winter clothes a little bit longer, but it's also a big sacrifice. So we're so grateful to those volunteers who really bundle up before they head in there, spend 3 hours sorting through those items, and then they're making a big difference. They're helping us reduce waste. So it's definitely a shift where you're not going to sweat. I honestly really love it, especially in the heat of summer. It's a great way to cool off for the day. But what we do in the Produce Rescue Center, so we get, it says rejected produce. That's going to be anything that comes from our retailers that's been on the shelves for too long, that they have too much of, or it doesn't meet their standards. So it might be that imperfect, misshapen, it's got one bruise on it. So we'll take it in, and then we will have our volunteers sort through those items, making sure that they are still safe to be eaten, because that's really all that we care about. We don't care what it looks like, and we don't care how much of it we get. As long as it's safe to be eaten, we are going to put it in a box and then put that box out into the community. So anything that we can rescue, we then put into the packaging that's provided by Dow Chemical and put that out into the community. Anything that is not salvageable, we are going to put into our compost, which is just our big bin of everything that's rotten, including bread. So we do bread and produce in those bins, and that way we can send that out to Living Earth. Or we also send it to local pig farmers, people who have pet turtles. I mean, anything that we can use to reduce that waste. And so here's the image that kind of sticks with you. So rather than putting it into the landfills like this, contributing to the problem of waste in America, we're going to put that food that's perfectly good. You can see that. It was just too much for the grocery store to handle. We're going to put that into boxes and put that out into the community. All right, so how can you be involved, which I know is the question on everybody's mind today. First and foremost, you can volunteer. I am the volunteer services manager, so that is what I want you to do here today, is go to our website. It's mcfoodbank.org, and there you can see our full calendar of our volunteer shifts still needing help. It's very easy to schedule yourself, but of course, I'm happy to help you if you need that over the phone. So when you go to our website, you can actually sort through our calendar and say, I want to work in the warehouse, or I want to work in specifically the produce, or I want to go in the freezer. Sign me up for meat, which of course I will do that. There you go. Yes. So you can sort through your calendar, you can sign up there, and you can also bring your children. So our youngest age that can volunteer at the food bank is 7 years old. That's in our general sorting or at our offsite distributions. And then at our produce rescue center and meat lover shifts, youngest age is 16. Although right now we are working on expansion of our warehouse, which means that we will add an additional produce rescue center, an additional cold sort for our meat lover shift, and an additional volunteer lounge area. So that is going to be a big capital campaign coming out very, very soon, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to come here today. But that will also add capacity for our volunteers. So if you don't see that you're available to sign up to volunteer now, keep an eye on the calendar. It does show 3 months in advance, so you can sign up for that in the future. Or if you want to wait until we have our giant new volunteer center, which will hopefully be next year, just depending on how construction goes, then you can come join us for that. But definitely keep an eye out for that capital campaign. A next way that you can be involved is to donate. So whether that is donating funds or food or time. So of course you can donate your time by volunteering. You can donate food by doing a food drive or just cleaning out your pantry periodically and bringing that with you to the food bank. Or you can donate funds. So at Montgomery County Food Bank, $1 equals up to 4 meals. That's real food into the hands of our food insecure neighbors in Montgomery County. That's $0.25 per meal. So even if you have $0.25 or a couple of bucks with you today that you would like me to take with me to the food bank, I'm more than happy to do that because I'm going there right after I leave here today. And I'm happy to do that. But you can also donate online. So if you wanted to scan this QR code with your phone right now, your camera, just pull up the camera, hover it over the QR code and click the link that pops up. You can donate online at any time. And lastly, another way that you can be involved is to get involved with our special fundraising events. So our next fundraising event is actually just about 2 weeks. That is going to be Sunday, May 7th, and that is our Outrun Hunger event. It is our annual fun run. It's a 5K timed, so if you are a serious runner, yes, you can beat your own records at this event. But it's also, if you want to have fun, if you want to just walk it. We also have a 1K, and that's going to be more family friendly. The 1K is going to be our color dash. So has anyone been to a color run before? You have? Did you enjoy it? Good. So that's what we're hoping to happen from this event too. It's our first ever color run, where when we do the 1K around the lake at Grand Central Park, we are going to have stations where our volunteers are throwing color up into the air, so you get that great color all over your event t-shirt. And it is a lot of fun, but it's also fun for all ages. There is no entry fee if you just want to come enjoy the family fun. We will have live music. We will have face painters and food trucks, a beer garden. We will have fun for all ages on this day. So if you do not want to run or walk, you don't have to. You can join us either way. And of course, if you choose not to run or walk, you can always set up a fundraiser online to help us, as this is a fundraising event. So again, we do need vendors, sponsors, and participants. So all of your companies here today, if you want to get your name in front of we're hoping for 500 participants at this event. If you want to get your name in front of all of them, you could be a sponsor or you could set up a vendor table. Information about that can be found on our website. It's mcfoodbank.org. And then of course you can find it from there, or you could go directly to it /outrunhunger23, apply to be a vendor. Or provide a sponsorship for us so that we can make this event happen. Or of course, you can sign up yourself or a team to participate. All right, did anyone have questions about the food bank? How to get involved? Yes.
Oh, sorry. Do you take cans or package things that are either expired or close?
We do, yes. Great question. So we actually have USDA approved grace periods on those items. So we can look at those and confidently say within this category, if it's within this grace period, yes, it's still safe to be consumed. Yes. So even in the back of your pantry, if it is, if it's moldy, we don't want it, sorry. But if it's close to be expired or already expired, please still give it to the food bank. We will have our volunteers take a second look at it. And we saw that we have a runner here today, so.
So where do you get most of your funding?
Most of our funding comes from donations. We get some grants, we don't have a designated person to apply for grants on our staff. We have a temp to do that part-time. So most of what we can accomplish with the food bank comes from donations from individuals and from company matches. We do, but we have to apply for it, yes.
So when are you open? Like when can we bring things to drop off to you?
Good question. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Well, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4, and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 3. Right here.
Inflation, supply chain challenges, food shortages, what are you doing to address those types of things in this time period?
Unfortunately, we've had to purchase a lot of food. That's the only way that we can keep up with the demand, because the demand is up, because inflation and supply chain is affecting everyone that we serve already, and then those who maybe didn't know what a food bank was or have never needed the food bank before. So we've had to purchase a lot of funds and gotten approval from our donations to do that. But unfortunately, like I said, the need is up. The supply chain interruptions have kept even what we've ordered away from us longer. And then inflation has made it harder to stretch that dollar. Yes.
One more time. Is there anything specific that you are in dire need of, like a certain food item?
There's never one specific food item. On our website, if you go to host a food drive and you want to see our full FAQ list, it's very easy to host a food drive because it gives you from start to finish how to do that. It has a list of our most needed items. Generally, we like to put out low sodium, high protein items out into the community, but we are not picky at all. Anything that you want to give us, we will take.
I kind of missed the very beginning, so if you've already addressed this, I'm sorry, but
Sure.
I know that the need has gone up, and I'm just curious, it's another big reason too. I know the changes with some people, a lot of people aren't aware, the changes with food stamps
Yes.
that have affected people, a lot of people who were receiving them. I think I have a family member who actually does.
Yes.
And so that ended in March, and it was a significant amount for them. So just thinking one person versus people that have families and all that are on them, I just wonder, that's, just thinking of y'all, that's going to be tough for a lot of people.
Yes, thank you. So yes, if anyone was unaware, the SNAP program benefits that were increased during COVID were recently cut back to what they were pre-COVID, but we're not in the same world that we were pre-COVID. So inflation is very much a factor in that, as you were mentioning, and we just have seen that need go up dramatically since that has happened. So that ended March 31st. April 1st, we don't have the numbers for April yet since we're still very much in April, but I'm sure that we will see that those numbers are incredibly much higher than we expected. Angela? We specifically, our agencies do, yes. So you can always donate that to us here, or I would recommend, if you have that specifically to donate or that specifically on your heart to be part of, reach out to the shelter or reach out to specific organizations within the community, because that'll get more directly to them. We definitely send it out to the community, but it's not going to be as expedited as if you were to them specifically. Other questions? Yes.
Did I understand you to say that for every dollar that you're donated, you can provide 4 meals?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have greater buying power, is that correct?
We do, yes. So we have a director of sourcing and sustainability. His entire job is to make those relationships and to get more bang for our buck, basically. So he's able to increase our purchasing power, which is why $1 with us is going to go further. If you wanted to donate $1 with us rather than go buy something for $1, you might get 1 can of peas, where we could get, like I said, 4 meals out of that $1. But I mean, anything will help. So regardless of if you want to do your own shopping or just want to donate monetarily to us, we will take it. Other questions?
So can you comment, and I think you touched a little bit on this, with what you guys do, it is, you guys act out almost as a hub for the entire Montgomery County community, as far as being able to source food, so a lot of the food pantries you see at churches,
Yes.
a lot of them source it through. So can you kind of expand, or you kind of give us a little bit more detail on those partnerships?
Yes. So like I said, we have over 80 partners in the community. And as you were saying, a lot of them get their food directly from us. Some of them have the purchasing power to buy it themselves from grocery stores or from other sourcing partners like we have ourselves. But a lot of them will receive all of what they get or most of what they get from the food bank. We are the one and only food bank in Montgomery County. Houston Food Bank is not allowed to serve Montgomery County because we are set up as Montgomery County Food Bank, and they already serve so much more. So we kind of took Montgomery County off of their hands in 1985 when we were founded. But those food pantries that you might work out within the community, that your church might have, or your kid's school might have, those will be set up entities from Montgomery County Food Bank. Can I answer your question? Right here.
School-funded, the school-funded meals for children, I don't suspect that has anything to do with your organization, but are those funds still available to families?
You're talking about the free and reduced meals?
Mhm.
I'm not sure about that. Again, that doesn't come from our organization, but something that we do with our organization is called our Backpack Buddy or our Spirit Bag program, which is where we send a bag of dry goods to those schools that have individuals that depend on the schools for food, meaning that, yes, they rely on that free and reduced hot lunches, hot breakfasts. So when they go home over the weekend, they may not have anything to eat. We send them a Spirit Bag or a Backpack Buddy that they can discreetly slip into their backpacks on Friday and take home with them to eat over the weekends. So I know that doesn't directly answer your question. I'm not sure about that funding, but that's something that we do to supplement that. Anyone else?
Are there specific days that you do the volunteers come in and help?
Yes, so we have a recurring schedule of Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon, and Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 4. Some Fridays we do 1 p.m. to 3, or we reserve those for training. But yes, generally there's going to be weekdays, 2 shifts per day, 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 4. You can see that all online when you go to sign up on the calendar. But sometimes we'll have different things come up, like our senior distributions, like our mobile markets, like our special events of Outrun Hunger. If you're looking for something specific and you don't see it on the calendar, reach out to me. I'm very accessible and I want to have you sign up. So please let me know if I can help you do that.
Fantastic. One more question? No questions? Great job. Fantastic. Thank you so much. 2 mics. I love it. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I can't, so I've got a little bit of insight on some of what you guys do, and I'd absolutely love, even though I can't say your name right, and I keep calling you Meals on Wheels, I actually do like what you guys do. And one of the things I really like is there's a lot of, look, there are 3,500 nonprofit organizations in the Montgomery County area. Did y'all know that? I've said it a few times. There's a ton of them. So many of them try to go it alone. They try to do their own thing, and there's so many people that can, if they can come together and they can partner, they can be such a powerful organization. Bill, I'm gonna say it again. Montgomery County Food Bank. I don't know why I have that stuck in my head. I know who you are, and Miss Marlowe's gonna kick my rear end for that, by the way. So, but they have done a fantastic job of being that central hub that these other organizations, these other food organizations can source their food, can provide services in areas that, because they've got their office, they've got their warehouse, they don't have the reach out in the community as much as your local church does, this food bank. So they don't necessarily see the need as much. I think that is fantastic, y'all. And that's what's needed in this community is these organizations to be able to come together, work together, and do it for the right reasons. So thank you again so much. We really do appreciate you. I like these things, by the way. So, okay,